Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about one of my most favorite books. It was written by Roald Dahl. It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Awesome, thundering story. Charlie was a poor boy, but he was a really generous and a good boy. But he had a little weakness with chocolates, and their parents would barely get food. And the birthday present of Charlie was Mr. Wonka's chocolate factory's best chocolate, and he liked their parents and his four grandparents. Well, the oldest of all of the grandparents is Uncle Joe, and he was a great person. He was a really good friend of Mr. Wonka. Mr. Wonka was a person who built and used to work in world's largest chocolate factory and would have magical chocolates. He was a magician of chocolates and delicious. One day he sent 5 golden cards to all over the world to get 5 children to whom he would let in his own factory. Well, no people used to work in Mr. Wonka's factory. It was a really mystery. Then the 5 children were selected. 4 got in time and 5 at the last date. It was Charlie. His father lost his work and he had to shovel people's roads. And then Charlie found a small piece of coin. It was 50 pounds. He found a big money. It was 50 pounds. He took it and got 2 chocolates. First didn't contain anything but a chocolate. The second, he found the golden ticket. That's how he was really lucky. Then the next day they were at the chocolate factory. After a lot, the 4 children got out with their evil weakness, but Charlie considered to get win, and at last Mr. Wonka turned him as his most favorite child, and he got leader of the chocolate factory. It means he could be the manager of the chocolate factory after Mr. Wonka. Awesome! And that's the main story of this book. So, would you mind reading this book? I don't think you'd mind, but I think you're feeling watery now. He was an awesome chocolate creator, Mr. Wonka. So, I hope you would like to buy these books. For now, my last word is bye! Assalamu alaikum. Today, I'm going to talk about my first book. It was the first time I was adopted to a book. I didn't really like books, and I didn't even touch books. I just used to read the books with pictures, colorful pictures. But then, certainly a miracle happened to me. And that's what happened. The miracle happened for this awesome book. The book's The Diary of Wimpy Kid. It was written by Jeff Canning. I really thank him by my heart. He had chosen the best ideas of his mind, and I was really adopted to this book. I like this book. You know how many pages are in this book? 217. I had read some of the books, almost a large number of books, and I started in the afternoon and I finished at noon. Before night. Alright? It was a really great idea, and all his book contained 217 pages. I read one book a day. It's amazing, right? So, do you think the others who don't read books might be adopted to this book? I think so. So for now, I say please buy this book and enjoy the stories, and also don't forget to thank me if I helped you by my idea. So for now, my last word is going to be goodbye. Have a good story time. Assalamu alaikum, and a really good time with you. I hope you would like a story as you can sleep now, as you did have a rough day. But now I'm going to say a bedtime story, and you will fall asleep like this. Alright, let's see. Close your eyes first. Of course, I can see all of you close your eyes. And now turn on the switch of your imagination. And now let's go into your imagination. The outback is full of wonderful sounds, but none is wonderful than the sound of an ice cream van on a hot sunny day. And Lolly's ice cream is the best for miles around. One sweltering afternoon, Alice, Archie, and Mitzi were all feeling hot and bothered down by the water hole. Suddenly, they heard the gentle jangling sound of distant music. "It's Lolly!" yelled Mitzi. Sure enough, Lolly's ice cream van came soon into sight. But as it trundled towards the waterhole, no one noticed its engine was making a scratching, rumbling noise. "Hi everyone," Lolly called. "I have been driving through the outback for weeks. Lovely to have someone to talk to," she grinned. "Anybody for an ice cream?" Rather, said Archie. "What a treat! Yes, please," beamed Alice. The friends all agreed that ice cream on a boiling hot day was just the thing to cool them down. "I hope she got a chocolate chip," said Mitzi dreamingly. Meanwhile, at the Coyle brothers' homestead, Ned and Bluster had found the other way to keep cool. Ned sat in front of a fan while Bluster placed a towel full of ice cubes on his hot head. Then Frank appeared with a jug of ice cold orange squash. "Thanks, Frank, just what I needed," said Bluster happily. He thought the drink was just for him. "You know, look at this jug." "Oh, it's a large jug. But how can this person eat the whole juice?" "Let's read it out." He thought the drink was just for him and drank down the lot in a few thirsty gulps. It was in 100 label and got in 0 label. But what for all? That was for all of us, gasped Frank. Like that, Frank did. This is Frank. "Sorry for disturbing you from sleep." "Hey, are you asleep?" "No." "Alright." "I feel sleepy, but I have to continue the story." Oh no, cried Bluster, realizing his mistake. I'm sorry. Here, Ned, you can have my ice pack. Ned wasn't sure it really suited him. On the other hand, back at the water hole, Lolly leaned out of her van to give Mitzi a beautiful big ice cream cone. It was filled with chocolate chip ice cream. Oh, thanks, Lolly, said Mitzi. But just as she took it, bang! The ice cream van's engine went up into smoke. Mitzi jumped in surprise and her ice cream fell and onto the sizzling sand. My ice cream van is broken down, wailed Lolly. She tried turning on the engine again, but it wouldn't start. The engine keeps the ice cream cold. All my ice cream will melt. What am I going to do? Everyone wanted to help, but what could they do? Sammy was good with engines, but he wasn't around. I know, beamed Alice. I will drive over to Homestead and get help from Frank and Bluster. Everyone agreed it was a great idea. Alice swiftly jumped on her scooter and scooted away, leaving Archie and Fiddle with the broken engine. We've got to think of some way to stop that ice cream melting, said Lolly. We could eat it, cried Mitzi. Archie frowned. You can't eat a whole tab of ice cream. Mitzi smiled. I can. Wow. She would drink all the ice creams and eat them up. And the next moment, achoo! Achoo! That would be the greatest thing to see. But now, Alice soon arrived at the homestead. But being so forgetful, she found she wasn't quite sure why she had came. Oh my God, she had forget what would happen. The ice cream would melt into juice and juice would be eaten by me and you. Wonderful. Maybe if you sit down and cool off you will remember, suggested Blaster. Alice sat on the veranda next to Ned. Why are you wearing the towel on your head? She laughed. It's an ice pack, said Buster proudly. Buster made it cool. Buster made it for me to cool down, huh? Oh yeah, I know. It's said by another person. Ice cream. Ice, cried Alice. She jumped up and danced around with excitement. That is ice cream! Now Alice remembered everything. She turned to call her brothers. Lola's brand had broken, and the water hole, and her ice creams all melting. She needs your help. Leave it to us, Alice, said Frank confidently. He turned to Buster and Ned. Get ready for taking off. Frank and Buster buckled up and Ned opened the gate. Soon it was chocks away. The yellow paint soared up into the wild blue sky. Back at the water hole, the ice cream was still melting and there was no sign of Coil Brothers. The Mitzi pointed up to the sky. Look, she yelled. There. The moment the plane landed, Frank and Buster leaped. Don't worry, Lolly. Give me the ice cream. Lolly passed him into a heavy tub. What are you going to do with it, Frank? I'm going to fly back to Homestead and freeze the ice cream in our freezer. There's not a minute to lose. What about me, Frank? Asked Buster. You can stay here and Buster and try to fix the van. Frank called. You Coil Brothers Really are wonderful, said Lolly happily. Blaster grinned. We're here to help. Once Frank had flown away, Blaster busied himself under the bonnet, but it was no use. I cannot get it to work, he sighed. I bet Sammy can, cried Mizzy. Sammy was a wizard with engines, and she had just spotted the three-wheeled van coming their way. When Sammy arrived, he unclipped some cables and wiggled some wires, and Lolly's engine started. It worked, laughed Lolly. Thank you, Blaster and Sammy. Blaster smiled. Let's head to Homestead to get the ice cream. Mizzy nodded eagerly. I can't wait for my chocolate chip. Back at Homestead, Frank had some very good news for her. Lolly, the ice cream's fine, he grinned. Lolly was quite overcome with happiness. Oh, Frank, she spluttered as her friends gathered around her. How can I help you? How can I possibly thank you all? Mizzy took a couple of steps forward and smiled shyly. Well, Lolly laughed. Ha ha ha. I know who's for ice cream. Everyone cheered. Yes, mine's a chocolate chip, shouted Mizzy. So, that's the end of the story. How was the story? Sorry for disturbing you. So, everyone, bye. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. I like to tell stories when everyone sleeps. So now, open your glasses, close the lights, switch off the lights, and lie in your bed, cozy, cool, cold, cozy. Alright, now close your eyes and go to your imagination. Let's go deep into your dreams. Once there lived a fox. He was really cunning. Once he found a sheepskin. He had an idea. He turned himself just like a sheep and went to a sheep field. And he got to the folk, and when the shepherd took them to the farm, he was getting ready to get his prey. Then the shepherd found he had no food, so he took an axe and went to his barn, and he found that the fox was the most heavy one and the big Tahmid, as there was extra part on him, but he didn't eat anything, but he ate before that. All the sheep were good, but he looked the most fat, but his head did look like a sheep. So the shepherd mistakenly took the fox and killed him. And that's the end of the fox. You know, this is how it ends for the evil deeds. So I hope you liked it. For now, the last word is have a sound sleep. Once there was, every frog has a bad sound that's but long ago they had wonderful voice. It all changed for a frog named Blaster. He was a great singer. He had a wonderful voice. Every animal liked his voice. So one day they planned to take Blaster's voice. In midnight, they went to Blaster's house, and Moxie the rabbit and Pluck the lizard took the voice of Blaster in a glass jar. As they were coming, Moxie accidentally slipped and the glass jar fell down and broke into thousands of pieces. The A voice also turned into 1,000 pieces too. They couldn't find any of them, so they had to go home. But at dawn, the birds found that voice and didn't keep a single little piece, as they had a good sight. When the animals came at afternoon and found nothing but a broken glass jar. And that's for when the birds sing in a nice voice and Blaster has just a voice. Croak, croak. So, did you like the story? I hope you liked the story. But now I say is goodbye.